Our parents bought into the plot. Their parents performed on them. Therefore we have no right to blame them for our misfortune. And remember that the past repeating itself is possible. The American people are racked with remorse over the ideals they instill in their children. So they can't blame previous generations. Therefore, we must flip our thinking around and realize that the past always flows back from the present. To free ourselves from the chains of the blame game. There is no more extraordinary inspiration than the present moment. Yes, you are correct in saying that. And to realize that we can overcome any adversity. Because we are more robust than that. We should evaluate ourselves by something other than the outcomes we're generating at the moment, or the conditions in which we're generating them. Reality is painful. Having a sense of entitlement, as if you are a victim, is a trap you should avoid. To be clear, you are not. Drop it and carry on with your life. So, recognize the worth of your difficulties, and you will eventually overcome them. 1. Gather your might and press forward. I didn't give up, but I did keep failing. And it ultimately didn't matter. Because you know what? As the old adage goes, you'll get a haircut if you frequent barbershops long enough. So eventually, you'll get a break. Your fear of failure must be overcome. The reality is that you will make mistakes. Those who never make mistakes need to take more risks. To fall is necessary. To get it right, you have first to get it wrong. Our backgrounds do not define us. And even the outcomes. It's the only indication they have of who we've become. For as long as we can learn and adapt, there will always be more for us to accomplish. Common sense prevails in the minds of the general public. We lost access to this room. If a door closes behind you, all you have to do is take a step up the corridor. The mountains crest over such areas, they did not collapse. People who put out extra effort will be rewarded. Achieving one's goals is a direct result of one's effort and persistence. I treat every day as if it were my last. To put it simply, I put in extra effort because doing so will ultimately pay off. I want it more than anything, so I have to work for this. Taking the difficult path is what we dread the most. It's a question and a statement, respectively. This is what we need to accomplish the most. Keep your honor as a top priority. The only thing worth protecting is your intellect. You're indeed an organism that generates options. In every moment, you decide between two possible courses of action. In every action, you reveal your values and priorities. Every second, you prioritize one set of thoughts over another. Prioritizing what you deem more important or valuable. Defeating temptation, taking the easy way out, and prioritizing convenience are all things that need nothing but character. The only way to reach your maximum potential is to use your willpower in whatever you do. At times like these, when it would be more convenient to choose the less than ideal but faster option. The return for developing your character lies in sticking to what is proper and necessary. It's fantastic that you're using your strength of character and self-control to adhere constantly to the best practices you've learned. When you decide to go with the correct or the more valuable option, your self-esteem is at an all-time high. Your sense of self-worth will rise as you appreciate and like yourself more. When you operate with integrity, you boost your self-respect and feel fantastic about who you are. Everyone around you will look up to you and respect you more. They will consider you a role model because of you. You'll have people helping you and doors opening for you. As you develop your integrity, doors will open for you. And you'll be able to take on more responsibility and earn a higher salary. Conversely, you can be extremely bright, talented, and capable, but you must believe in yourself to succeed. Nobody will want to hire you, and everyone who does will fire you as quickly as possible. Since people of like minds like to stick together, financial institutions will not be willing to extend you a loan. You'll only ever hang out with other dubious characters. There is no way to count on making any friends among them. In addition, because the company you choose can have a significant impact on your outlook and character, and because you can either make or break your entire life by the quality of your personality, there are various factors to consider when choosing the people you surround yourself with. Sometimes you try to convince yourself that you are good enough, and that you should be self-confident, by changing your thinking that you are. Still, there is a better way to find the source of self-confidence. There is a source of power in you that transcends the person. It is not egoic power over somebody. It is one with the energy that is the power of life in the universe, where all life arises. Egotistically, you feel good about yourself since you realize you are more intelligent than most of your peers. Or I have to tell myself that I am more attractive than most people before I can feel confident in my appearance. To convince yourself that you are better than the people you are comparing yourself to. You may tell yourself things like, I have more money than these people, so I should have more self-confidence. You may also try to ignore the areas in which you are inferior to them and instead focus on the ones in which you feel superior. Comparing oneself to others is a challenging game, especially if one hopes to boost self-confidence by focusing solely on the areas in which they feel I'm better than others. Having direct access to an inner force is, therefore, superior to gaining confidence through comparison to others or a sense of being better than or worse than they are. You don't need a comparison to know that you have it right now. All you have to do is look beyond your mind to see that you are the presence behind the thinking mind, without which there could be no thinking. When you realize that you are the aware presence behind it all, that is deeper than the thinking mind, and that this is where power resides, though not yours, because it connects you with universal energy. Then you no longer need to compare yourself to anyone or feel, as the ego always does, that you are either superior or inferior to somebody else. It's never pleasant to feel insecure among new people, since you can't help but compare yourself to them and worry that others could judge you as inferior.